The Auto Barn. Our John Deere Z700 Series Z-Track mower covers a lot of ground in a short period of time. Now get a new Z700 with 0% for 48 months. 0% for 48 months. Some restrictions apply. See Sloan Implement for details. Offer ends 5/2/22. How will you make the most of your mow? Find out at Sloan Implement today.
Life is uncertain. Stop in and see me, State Farm Agent Jason France, on the west side of the Clinton Square, or click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and see how our full lineup of State Farm insurance and financial services can help protect your family.
Local farm broadcaster Jared White covers the local agriculture news you need to know. Hear his reports by downloading the free WHOW mobile app.
Today's morning show can be heard by downloading the free WHOW mobile app in your favorite store.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on this segment of the show is Ed Shimon with the National Weather Service in Lincoln. A good morning, Ed. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Seth. Thanks for having me on.
Good to hear. Thanks for coming on and joining us as always and making time for us. I know things are busy on your end, and we appreciate you making time for us as always. And Ed, the pressing question everybody wants to know today, what's the weather going to be like in Augusta, Georgia this weekend for the Masters?
Well, actually, it looks like they may be seeing a good portion of it be dry. A little cool as we head towards Sunday. High pressure is going to drop down there and cool them down a little bit. But rain-wise, boy, other than a cold front moving through there Wednesday night, it looks like they're going to really have a good shot at some dry weather through that whole thing.
Man, Ed, I thought I was going to get you with that one, but you were ready, man. You were ready for it. So good work by you. But no, let's talk this week, Ed. Give us kind of the day-by-day outlook of what we're looking at here. Rest of the day today looks pretty nice, and maybe the nicest day we're going to have this week. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, today the cold front is moving through during the day today, but the showers are generally exited. And, besides maybe a sprinkle or two just east of Clinton, really there's just going to be, a mix of clouds and sun. And the temps are going to get right up near normal, high around 58. So, we're normally right around the 60-degree mark this time of year, and that's good. But the winds are going to shift out of the west-northwest, and it'll be a little gusty, about 25 miles an hour. So it's, going to add a little bit of gustiness to the day. And it still feel nice out, though. 58 is good temp.
Absolutely. So looks like after tonight, Ed, clouds are going to roll in. Things are going to cool off a little bit. I shouldn't say cool off just yet, because it looks like Tuesday is going to be a normal once again, and even Wednesday normal once again. But just kind of break down each day as we get past this, what looks like a great Monday. So what are we looking at after today?
Yeah, there's a storm coming out of the plains, southern plains, like Oklahoma region. Going to bring some rain in from the south later tonight into Tuesday. And then if that's not enough, there's one coming out of the upper plains in the Dakotas, and that's going to bring a cold front through Tuesday night. That's going to trigger a few thunderstorms. So we could see some heavier rain, maybe about an inch that night, Tuesday night into Wednesday. So we'll have to be ready for that. We are not expecting severe weather in our area though. So, just hear some rumble of thunder potentially during that Tuesday night time frame. We do clear out for just a brief period, Wednesday afternoon into the evening, and then more rain comes in Thursday night, maybe even into Friday with a few snowflakes. I hate to say it, on Friday morning could be falling in that morning low of 34 degrees Friday morning. So, that's our cool down Thursday night, Friday into Saturday night. Lows below freezing or right just barely below freezing, but still cold as we head into the weekend, but dry this weekend anyway.
Ed, I forgive me, I can't remember the last time that we caught up, but it looked like March was going to start out real great, and it looked like it was going to be a great month. I told one of my guests earlier this morning, I felt like we were going to have one of the best, springs we've had in a long time, and then Mother Nature comes in and puts the kibosh on that. So what has happened here in Central Illinois that things have just kind of bottomed out, and we've really started April this way as well? What's going on?
Yeah, March did start out great. We had upper 60s, lower 70s for highs. It was nice, not a lot of rain. And then we got hammered with snow. The 10th and the 11th, we had 4+ inches of snow, and we're like, wait a minute. Then the rest of the month, we did warm up and cool down, oscillating in a typical March, but then we ended it pretty wet.
Mm-hmm.
We got a total of 4.6 inches of rain in March, which is double what you normally get in March for water. So, we're starting out April a little cool, trending up toward normal here, but, it's definitely this first full week is going to be wet and then eventually cooler than normal. So, we deserve some spring, and I think it's going to come.
All right. Well,
the rest of April.
From your lips to God's ears, my friend. But in the meantime, what you mentioned April, very, very wet, double the traditional amount of rain. How about temperatures? And what were some of the highs and lows of the month of March? I'm sorry, month of March, Ed. I'm sorry about that.
Sure.
Recap March for us.
Yeah, March. We did have some swings up and down. Like one of the highs right before the snow hit was 29 degrees, and and 22 after the snow hit. So, but then we ramped right back up. We melted that snow quickly. We got back up into the low 70s by 4 days later, 71, 74. The highest high of the month was the 17th of the month at 74 degrees. So that's decent. That's 15 degrees above normal, almost there, almost 20 degrees above normal with that. So we cooled down below normal just briefly in that start of the last week, 45 for a high, and then we stayed below normal. Yeah, the end of the month was generally cold, 40, 42, 43 on the 26, 27, 28. Those low 40s for highs is definitely well below where we should be. Even the last day of the month, 39 for a high. So, March kind of gave us a taste of the colder side of spring, definitely.
March gave us fits, as it usually does, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So again, Ed Shimon, National Weather Service in Lincoln, is our guest on the phone for this morning. So Ed, as we transition to April, last time we chatted, you mentioned to me that April probably going to start a little cooler, but you just said we could have some good springtime weather coming our way. What are the outlooks showing as we get past here this middle part of the week where it's going to be a little wet? How about the weekend ahead? And let's transition that to the rest of the month.
Yeah, although the weekend is going to start out chilly, and actually Saturday night too is going to be cold, right around freezing. Sunday rebounds quickly. We gain 30 degrees there up to a high of 63, and that's going to set a little bit of a trend, I think, into that following week where we're trending above normal. When we're looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook, we're solidly above normal in central Illinois for temperatures, at least the signal out of the Climate Prediction Center. So, expect at least a good portion of the week to be at or above normal in temperature wise, but there is still more above normal precip in there. So, they're probably going to have a couple of storms in there. When you see above normal temps and above normal precip in April, usually means some thunderstorms. So, we're probably going to have at least 1 or 2 days in there with some rainfall next week as well. So we'll have to just be ready for that.
Very good. So look forward to those things. And you mentioned, Ed, trending towards above normal temperatures. How about, I hate to say this, how about freezes and even some snowfall in April? What's the likelihood of some of those things this month?
Yeah, we do have a normal amount of snow. Actually, the month of April, monthly normal is 0. So, okay. I thought there was 1/10 of an inch of normal snow in April, but I'm looking at the climate at normal here, and it's 0. So we normally don't see any snow in April on an average year. Mother Nature is never average. So, we're probably going to have seeing the warmer than normal trend for the rest of the month after this week. If we don't see any snow with that Friday morning little flakes, I think the general trend is that, we're going to not see a snow that's going to accumulate really on the ground. And if flakes fly through the air this time of year, you may see that one more time this month. But otherwise, in general, even if it does accumulate an inch, it'll melt within hours, if not, as it falls. So, generally not going to see a whole lot of snow in April. It is definitely unusual. It can occur, so don't throw the shovel out the window yet. But, the trends are with an above normal temperature profile coming at us for the rest of the month. I think we'll be on the better side of that chance.
Ed, I'm not one to test you, but I'm gonna throw the shovel in the shed for the time and see what happens.
You and me both.
I know it. I'm sick of it. But well, I like the above normal temperature trend. How about precipitation? What are we looking at for precip in the month of April?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be higher than normal. We've already got more rain than we normally would have actually, we just had more days of precip. Yeah, with the precip amount so far generally right around normal, 1/10 of an inch to 2/10. But as we see that Tuesday night, we're going to bump above normal probably really quickly with next week's rains. And if there's more rain in that 8 to 14 day outlook, like it shows above normal, the month of April probably is going to end up being a pretty wet month, bringing those Mayflowers. So that's the trend is coming out of the Climate Prediction Center for the entire month is above normal precipitation.
Yeah, that's not what high school baseball coaches and softball coaches want to hear right now. They have had a hellacious time trying to get ball games in. So
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's been a tug of war for sure, trying to find time for those games. How about for those midweek games here this week, Ed? I mean, is the chances? What are we thinking in terms of possibility of getting any of these scheduled games on the calendar in this week?
Well, there is a break in the rain. It looks like Wednesday afternoon and evening. So if you've got something on the docket for Wednesday evening, there's a higher likelihood of that being a dry period out of the whole week. So that'll be your best shot. Really, the Thursday and the Friday definitely has a higher trend, and even Tuesday afternoon, evening, not looking good really there. Friday, we're going to be drying out. So Friday, if you had a Friday evening game, it's going to be cooler, but it looks dry.
All right. Well, Ed, hopefully we can find some time this week to get those games in. Otherwise, we'll hope for some sparing dry weather the rest of the month. Ed, we'll take a time out here, and maybe we'll dive into what the rest of the spring May looks like, and then dive into the summer. There was a concerning trend you and I discussed in our last visit, and we'll get an update on that when we come back. In the meantime, Ed, folks can go where to find the latest in National Weather Service data and information?
Weather.gov/Lincoln.
Ed Shimon, National Weather Service in Lincoln, is my guest on the phone here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. More to come on the morning show.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network for this Monday. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all higher. May corn 742.5 up 7.5. July corn up a dime 731 3/4. December corn 695 up 7. May beans 1596 3/4 up 14. July beans up 15 3/4, 1582.5. And November beans 1429.5 up 22 3/4. May wheat $10 3/4 up 16 1/4. July wheat up 17 3/4. 10.02. May bean meal 454.70 up 4.70. May bean oil 71.82 up 62 cents. In the livestock market, April live cattle 138.45 down 20 cents. April feeders down 27 cents. 161.30. April lean hogs 99.85 down $1.45. June Brent crude oil 107.81. That's up 3.42 a barrel. Look at the markets for this Monday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD.
Here's a supply chain update from Dave Jackson, owner of your Clinton Save-A-Lot. As a local store owner, I've learned many lessons from the last 2 years, from keeping my shelves stocked for you to selecting the freshest meat and produce and other items you buy every day. I want you to know that we've utilized our off-site storage facilities to beef up our inventory levels to avoid running out of items you buy. While there's no playbook for what we've all experienced, you have my personal commitment to keep our shelves stocked every day. Your Clinton Save-A-Lot appreciates your business, and we hope to see you soon.
Scott Baum here from Baum Chevrolet GOP in Clinton. Search our big selection of pre-owned cars and trucks by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Dr. Bradley Grant here from Midstate Eye in Clinton. If you have unused eye care benefits, now's the time to schedule an appointment with us before the end of the year. Click on our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Tell Amazon Alexa, play WHOW Radio to hear the morning show and all our programming right there on your Amazon Echo.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Again, on the morning show with us is Ed Shimon with the National Weather Service in Lincoln. Ed, we recapped this week. We recapped the month of March, and we looked ahead to April. Things looking like warmer and wetter for the month of April. However, as we get to May, what are signals showing for the kind of running out the spring, I guess? How about those things?
Yeah, the signal definitely shows warmer than normal all the way from April, May, even into June for that 3-month period. A real very warm air mass is showing up in the Texas, New Mexico, and even up in the Missouri. So, even a slight oscillation of that particular pattern could give us, some significantly above normal temperatures at times as we head into spring, which is a good thing for the growing season. And it's also showing a little bit of above normal precip trend in that 3-month window. So there could still be a lingering, with April being wetter than normal, that could still be a lingering effect in that 3-month outlook as well, because this is an April, May, June outlook.
Mm-hmm.
But if I plot up May, June, July, then we go to near normal temperature precipitation and still above normal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just showing me, and then there's a big swath of very dry conditions out in the west and all the way through the plains coming in from the west as we head into mid to late summer. So,
Mm-hmm.
Bottle up some of that water. You may need it as we head into the dog days of summer.
Yeah, for sure. Ed, what is driving this normal than warmer trend that we're going to start to see here after this week in central Illinois and beyond? What's driving this?
It looks like basically the pattern will have low pressure more over the oceans, and we'll be under more of a high pressure, persistent high pressure in the central and southern plains, even into the heartland here over Illinois. So when that jet stream transitions up towards Canada and kind of lingers there, we generally set up more frequently under some high pressure, and that'll allow a lot more warm air to just develop and then build, and the ground gets warm and just keeps, enhancing the warmth that's going to develop across the desert Southwest. And that looks like it's going to start shifting east with oscillating, high pressure center movements. So, that jet stream in the summer just kind of heads up into Canada and stays there for a good part of the summer. And when that happens, we can see a real warm dome set up and just build. So that could spell some expansive drought conditions as we head towards mid to late summer.
You were telling me last month that's a concern on your radar. So sounds like not a whole lot has changed since we chatted last.
Right. Yeah. This Climate Prediction Center has been targeting this warm dome for a while now. So that usually spells like it's probably going to lean that way more than a typical outlook for that time frame. Because as you get into the 3-6 month outlooks, they're generally just supposed to give you a trend, and this trend has been steady and building. So it definitely looks like a pretty warm mid to late summer.
What would it take to break that sort of a trend? I mean, what other things would have to happen around, other parts of the globe, I guess, even for this to break?
Yeah, if there's a major change in the oceanic temperatures, that'll change the pressure patterns over the oceans. So if somehow we have a deep upwelling of cooler water maybe coming into the Pacific, that could change where that low pressure sets up and maybe give us more periods of some low pressure tracks across the central U.S. with a change in that jet stream and drop it down out of Canada periodically. So, if there's somehow a shift in the pressure patterns over the oceans, that'll definitely give us a shot at it. But with the amount above normal signal that we're seeing, it would have to be a pretty pronounced change in the oceanic temperatures to really adjust where that jet stream is going to be this summer.
Interesting stuff. So warm, dry summer coming our way, it sounds like. Ed, anything else from your perspective as we talked this morning, whether it be that month of May, June, July, August time frame, anything else that's kind of catching your eye as it relates to trends down the road that we're seeing?
Yeah. One thing that, we just finished a month of, hazardous weather awareness, we kind of dodged the bullet for the most part. But April, May, June are the highest months of severe weather occurrence on average across central Illinois. And above normal precipitation even through the first month or two of that spring. We could see a few bouts of severe weather. So, always have that in the back of your mind, your safety, and make sure if weather's going to impact you, you're ready to respond.
Very good. So, in terms of just severe weather preparedness, where's the best place for folks to find that information?
Weather.gov/Lincoln. Our website's loaded with it.
All right, so check it out. And Ed, as we think about preparedness for, severe weather season, just some basic things that come to mind for you in terms of, when you hear the warning, whether it's a severe weather, severe thunderstorm warning, or things like that. Like, what are some basic things we need to keep in mind when these events roll through our communities?
If you are a trained spotter, helping us out with information of what's occurring, what do you see, if funnel clouds are forming or anything, getting that information to our office. We have Twitter and Facebook feeds we monitor constantly. We have, a spotter line, phone line as well. But just getting the information to us so we can get it to your communities and help, the community people around you respond with information that what's occurring with those severe weather events out there. It just helps us tremendously to know what's the ground truth below that radar beam.
Very good. Well, Ed, always good to talk to you, sir. We'll catch up again soon. Ed Shimon, National Weather Service in Lincoln, is my guest on the phone. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Network news on the way on the morning show.